Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 108 of What's the Pepper series. Today I have a very special variety to show you, and these are Lingria. Lingria is a cross between the Sangria and the Linzo. So it it is now currently on F4. So I have a few plants outside. So let's go ahead and pick some pods, and then we'll come back and try it out.
Okay, here is the Lingria F4, and I have two plants here going on in these little 5.5-inch pots, and the plants are just so pretty, and look at how prolific they are. See all those flowers? Clusters right here. Lots and lots of flowers coming out, and I've been picking fruits off of this to use, and they're quite tasty, and I really love the way they look because here is what they look like when they just formed. So they're kind of light green, and then they'll change into this light green color and sort of stay that way until they turn orange and then red at the end. It's not quite red, but that's the final color right there. But it's very, very pretty. Let me show you the other plant. You see? So it produced really pretty pods. You can see shades of purple sometimes. So very beautiful variety. Produce a ton. And you can grow them in small containers, and they will kind of like remain small. But if you want them bigger, give them more space and they can grow pretty big. They look great as ornamental plants because they produce these vibrant colors here. The leaves are also very pretty too, so it's kind of tiny and like ornamental plants. So we are going to pick a few and try it. This plant actually looks a little different than these. So these here, the fruits are kind of like straight, and on this one here, you get like sometimes crazy shapes and stingers and stuff. So see these here? So it's a little bit more wicked on this one than that one. So I kind of like save seeds from this one here to grow out because the traits looks really nice. Okay, so let's pick a few fruits and we'll try it out. So we'll pick this one here. Okay, here is a closer look at these beautiful pods, and I selected two nice ones here from both of the plants outside. The one that grew, this one here, it puts out like really wicked looking pods, and this one is more normal. So we're going to try them both, and these are really interesting variety. They're not very big, so it does have some heat, but not crazy, and also it has a really nice crunch to it. Good texture, decent amount of heat, and flavor is really nice also. So there it is. Let's see if I can show you the inside of it. Good amount of seeds, and not a very big pepper. I think the wall is a little thin, thicker than the Thai probably. And then we'll cut this one open also. This one has like a little stinger at the end right there. Sorry about that sound, guys. A lot of people don't like that.
So there it is, a decent amount of seeds. So I will have plenty of these to give out. There's some nice oil, not too much. Okay, let's try it. Okay, here they are. These are my Lingria, and I'll tell you a story of how I got the idea to cross this variety. I was at a flower garden, and we walked into a section where they had like a field of beautiful Sangria, just ornamental peppers, and they're all different colors like purple, yellow, orange, red. I mean, they're just gorgeous, and they're like really low and like really bushy plants. And when you see a whole bunch of them in a row, they just look so gorgeous. And so I was like, wow, those are such neat varieties, and they produce so much. And so I picked up a pot and I bit into it. I mean, it didn't have any flavor. I think it's bred for ornamental purposes, so there's no flavor, no heat. And I was like, wow, you know what? It looks so pretty and it produced so much. Maybe I can take it and cross it with one of my varieties, like that I really enjoy, which is the Linzo. And I did that, and I crossed it inside hydroponic because it was in the cooler months, and so I grew it inside in those little mini systems, and I was able to rush the generation very quickly, and it actually turned out great. It has beautiful aroma, a little bit of heat, so that's exactly the intention. I want something that produces a ton, pretty pods, and kind of like small and can just looks nice with of course with heat, because if peppers don't have heat, it's kind of like you don't really want to eat it. People love the heat in it. So yeah, it has a tropical smell again, very similar to the Sangria themselves, but you can detect a little sweetness and a little heat in here. And as you see, the plant produces a ton for being so small. So if you give it more space, it will grow bigger. This is now on F4 because I keep rushing it through little mini systems. You guys should try that. It helps to stabilize the generation much more quickly. Less work, and it's also very fun. So and in a controlled environment, it's easier to have success when you cross peppers. Okay, so let's try this one. There's a little tough texture because that was a red one. I usually like to eat it when they're kind of like the bright yellowish. It has some heat, not ridiculous amount of heat, but it has heat. Nice and sweet. So if you eat it when they're green, they're much crunchier, and the texture is not as tough, and you also have the nice tropical scent to them as well. So let me try this if there's any difference between two plants. That one's a little sweeter. About the same amount of heat. Like enough to like make your mouth, kind of like heat up a little bit, but nothing that would make you sweat. So now I have throat burn. So yeah, it has a decent flavor. So I usually eat this with most, like every meal I'll go outside and grab a few, and with these you can easily eat 4 or 5 with your meals. So it's kind of neat, and because it produces so much, eating 5 at a time is no problem. I have multiple plants growing all over the yard, so they look slightly different. But I like these the most because of the color and the contrast with the green. It just looks so nice. And now that one of the plant has like hooks and thorns and spikes and stuff like that, I kind of like that. So I'm gonna grow it again next season, or maybe I'll grow it throughout the winter and so that I can have peppers because they produce so much. Anyway, guys, that is my Lingria, a very nice, pretty variety, and I think a bunch of people on Facebook have seeds already. But I always give out a bunch of seeds, throughout the year. So as I mentioned, I spend a ton of money on stamps. All my seeds go out for free. That's why I usually send it within the United States because I can just put a stamp on it and send it. Sending overseas, you got to go to the post office and fill out forms and all that stuff. So it's a little bit more difficult. So I apologize for those that are overseas. But if you come to Pepper Lovers community, they share seeds all the time, all over the place. So the lemon starburst, there's a map on Pepper Lovers community on Facebook that shows where everyone is located and who is growing the lemon starburst. So I'm hoping this is going to be the very first pepper to be grown in every countries on earth. Anyway, guys, that is it. Come join us on Pepper Lovers Community. It's a very fun place. A lot of exciting things happening right now because it's harvesting season. Lots of trades and all that stuff. So come join us. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.